Hey guys, before I get into my at-home upper body workout, I just wanted to talk about this one thing that's sort of been on my mind. A lot of people fall into this dieting trap by buying things that are gluten-free, organic, all natural, because that's what the front of the packaging says. And so when they see that, they assume, well, if I eat this way, then I'll be healthier. But I just want you to know that buying those products doesn't necessarily mean that they're healthier. Food companies can pay a lot of money for the front of their package to say, all natural, great for athletes, great for weight loss, but they pay money to say those things. And the FDA, as far as I'm concerned, is years behind on approving a lot of those messages. So it's your job to turn the package around, read the ingredients, read the nutrition facts, where are their hidden sugars or hidden colors and other chemicals that can actually make you sick. And if you decide you want to be gluten-free, that's fabulous. Being gluten-free helps a lot of people, especially those who have a gluten intolerance. However, all of the protein in the grocery store, the whole produce section, all of your beans and a lot of your things like quinoa and rice, those are all naturally gluten-free. If you decide to be healthier by going gluten-free, but you end up purchasing gluten-free bread, gluten-free donuts, gluten-free pasta, and you just buy gluten-free packaged goods, you're not actually making yourself any healthier. You're just removing gluten. But you're replacing it with a lot of these products that end up being science projects. So if you do want to be gluten-free and you do want to make healthier changes, learn how to read labels, eat whole foods, and don't trust what the front of the package is saying, because the food industry is really just interested in your money, not so much in your health. And if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out. It's something that's really important to me. I don't want people to feel like they've been duped or get frustrated when you think that you're making healthy choices, but really the food choices you're making are not so healthy because all you're doing is checking the front of the box. So if you need help with reading labels or you want a grocery store tour, shoot me a message and I can make sure that I get that. Woohoo! All right. Hey guys, I wanted to show you some tools you have around your house to get in a fabulous upper body workout. I'm all about helping people move past their boundaries and push past excuses, and especially here in Minnesota when it gets cold, going to the gym, working out, going for a walk. Everyone says, oh, I really love being active, but in the winter I don't really do a lot. So what is happening here? So things you have in your house to do an upper body workout, anything that has weight. So for example, some detergent or dishwashing soap. If you shop in bulk like I do, you could have this big thing of tomatoes if you wanted to. If you've ever purchased rice in the co-op, you can have your own personal 20 or 25 pound weight, and it's just rice. And for when you're feeling thirsty, you can also have wine. I love wine, but we're gonna actually use this wine for some bicep curls. Now, depending on the weight of the items you have, something like a wine bottle that probably weighs like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 pounds. This, because it's lighter, you can do more reps. So you could do 15 to 20 reps while really keeping tension in your muscles and proper form. Something like this that weighs, I don't know, however much, almost 4 liters of liquid, I don't know, 8, 10 pounds. This, maybe you'll do less reps, maybe 8 to 12. And then if you get something even heavier, like your rice bag, this is 20 some pounds. This is 20 pounds. Whatever type of thing you're gonna do with this, maybe you're doing, 5 to 8 or 8 to 10, depending on the movement. But you have all these things in your house. I did this before making this video. I walked around my house and I was just sort of like picking things up. Ooh, seeing how much they weighed. Oh, I'm so sorry, wine bottle. A tub of protein, a chair, a child. I don't know, your kid probably weighs 50 pounds. Use them for something. The first thing I'm gonna do is warming up with push-ups. So you want to start by doing regular push-ups, so the ones when you're on your hands and feet, and then as you get tired you can put your knees down for a little bit more assistance. And then I'm going to show you another variation where you go from a wide push-up to a narrow push-up. So we're getting our chest, our triceps, our biceps, our shoulders, our core. We're involving a lot of upper body and even some lower body in those push-ups. But when I first did the push-ups that involve a wide push to a narrow push, oh my gosh, I can only get through 7 of them. I usually do them at the end of my workout. So now that this is sort of like a warm-up and beginning, I hope I can get through more. But this is how they'll look. For this type of push-up, I have my legs slightly apart, so I have a little bit wider base to work with. What I could improve on here is making sure that my shoulders are over my wrists and keeping my booty down. So keep your body flat, parallel to the ground, and here when you need to get a little bit more assistance, put your knee down. But again, make sure that you're keeping your body stacked and your core tight so you don't let your low back sink. As you can see, my body is going to be at an angle, and you want to make sure that you're keeping your core tight, because if I release my core, my hips are going to sink, and that's putting a lot of strain on my low back. So you want to be in a straight line, keep your core tight, keep your booty tight, and your legs tight. And I'm going to do a wide push-up so my elbows go out, and then I'm going to adjust and do a narrow push-up. So now my elbows are going to graze the side of my body, and then move them back out. Looks like a rubber band I used to use back in dance, where we would use it to warm up our feet. We put our feet in here and point and flex and point and flex. You could use this, or maybe you've seen one of these bands before where they have the handle on them. Many ways you could use this. This is how I'm gonna use it to warm up for upper body. First, I'm gonna step on it. So you can do bicep curls with this as a warm up or as your actual activity. Also, you can step on this and to start activating your shoulders, do one arm. And you can do front raises, like this, or to the side. And notice when I'm lifting to the side, I'm not lifting behind myself this way, because that's out of the range of motion for your shoulder. You want to be lifting to the side or slightly in front. When you're using a band like this, a lot of them come in different variety of sizes. You can get different thicknesses, but if you want more resistance, have less of it in your hand and more on the floor, like this, so you have less to work with. If you want less resistance, only be stepping on a little bit of it, and then you have a lot more to work with. See how much easier that is than if I were to have it like this. Whenever you're doing biceps, make sure that you're keeping your elbows glued and that you're not using momentum like this. Keep those elbows tight. And a lot of times what helps is if you put your back up against a wall, so you make sure that you're not using all this momentum. So you keep your back flat and then just do a curl from there. So what I also did is I took this band and I hooked it onto my stairs, and I'll show you some more bicep you can do with this. Make sure you go nice and slow with this exercise, keep those shoulders down, and remember to do both sides. Maybe 15 to 20 reps depending on how slow you're going. The slower you go, the harder it's going to be, but also the most effective it's going to be too. Your tricep muscles make up about 2/3 of your arm, I think. It's a huge muscle. It's back here. It's this horseshoe shape. I don't know, you can sort of see mine. Really easy body weight workout to do are tricep dips. A lot of people do tricep dips without actually using their triceps. They just sort of stick their butt on the ground and then, you know, flail around. So I'll show you a tricep dip incorrectly, and I'm totally guilty of these once I start getting tired. So incorrectly is when your arms do nothing and you do this with your butt and you're just sort of humping in the air. What you want to do is keep your butt up nice and high. Arms are about shoulder distance apart, and you dip with your arms. And for extra bonus points, lift your fingers up, lift your toes up, lift a leg up. More of a challenge, feet out. The more you take your body away from the center of gravity, the harder it's gonna be. So here I'm very stacked, it's a little bit easier. My legs are now out in front of me, makes it more challenging. One last tricep one that's really great is doing tricep extensions, like this. Now something like a wine bottle that doesn't weigh too much, you could do one hand. If you're gonna use something that's a little bit heavier, I would recommend using 2 hands. So one hand, it looks like this. Looks like we're wasting wine, but we're not. So when we're doing these workouts at home and you don't have all of the equipment at the gym and maybe things are gonna be a little bit lighter weight, the best way to make that most effective is to move quickly throughout your workouts, do higher reps, and superset them. And what that means is instead of doing 4 sets of bicep curls, you do a set of bicep curls, a set of tricep dips, right after another, wait for a minute, repeat, and do that 4 times. So come up with 2 workouts, 2 movements for your shoulders, 2 for your biceps, 2 for your triceps, and then throw push-ups in there. And then you'll wanna make sure you get through all of those, but pick 2, do them back to back, repeat 4 times. Pick another 2, do them back to back, repeat 4 times or 3 times. And if you want, in between sets, throw in a push-up or end the whole workout with another push-up. So that's how you make them the most effective, by getting your heart rate going, by not allowing you, don't rest too long between each of those sets.
Still fall on my face sometimes, and I can't color inside.